Tom, I wanted to ask you a question about connecting to the larger consciousness system, because I had that experience, and the experience for me was basically it came down to the realization that everything, there's only existence, and there's a sense of total completeness and perfection and love. And it felt great, but then at one point my left brain started to kick in, and basically I was wondering, how is it possible for everything to be perfect and complete, yet at the same time, what about all this fear? What about all this? What about the evolution thing? You know, it doesn't make sense for something to be perfect on the one hand, yet to evolve on the other hand. It seems to be a paradox, and I wonder if you could, what's your experience with it, and if you can maybe solve this paradox for me.
Okay, I think the answer to that is it's a perfect evolution trainer, but it's evolving. You know, what takes place inside is we have to evolve, we have to change, we have to grow up. But the process in which we've done that, the interactive process by which you accumulate your experience, and from that experience you make better choices, that is the perfect process. So the process that's set up for your evolution, the way things work, the way the larger conscious systems works, the way we as individuated units of conscious work, that system has been evolving toward optimization for a very long time, to the point that when you meet it and you know it and you experience it, it feels perfect. It feels done. It feels, you know, that it is everything, and everything is perfectly the way it's supposed to be. But that's a thing in motion. At any particular instant, you might think that it is just the way it's supposed to be, or it's just the way it is. It is just the way it is, and in the next moment, you get to make choices. And now you can improve yourself. And after you've improved yourself, that state, the whole state, is just as it should be. So it's not that the content is done. The content is continually evolving. But the structure in which that content is defined has evolved to a very high degree. I think maybe that will be the thing. So, you know, you can think of our own evolution here on the planet. At any one time, everything is in some sort of state of balance or in the process of being balanced. You know, if you have too many deer and too few wolves, well, that gets out of balance, and the deer begin starving to death and getting diseases and other things because there's too many of them and they're too crowded, and it gets out of balance. Then that starts to go into balance. So at any particular moment, it's just perfect, because now it's beginning to come into balance, you see, because the deer are diminishing by disease and other things. They're bringing themselves into balance. And however it is, it's always just where it needs to be to take the next step. And then it's just where it needs to be to take the next step. So think of the process as a whole set of balances, like an ecosystem, like our environment. And yes, things get out of balance. You get some things going on that are very out of balance in the ecosystem, but the system is made so it always tends toward balance and righting itself. So it's always in a state of fixing itself, just the way it's supposed to do it, just the way it was designed to do it. It's always in the process of becoming, and that becoming is always on the road to growing up. So even if we make bad choices for a while, we're still on that process toward growing up, and de-evolving is something that will make it easier for us to turn around and evolve again, because it'll show us the error of our ways. We de-evolve and things get worse and worse for us. So in that sense, the process is self-balancing. And in that self-balancing, self-righting, it's always just perfect, just the way it is. Not in the content, but in the structure of the system and how it works. It's always in the process of nudging things in the direction that they need to go. That's the nature of evolution. Evolution is a process that has no plan, but at the same time has a way of always moving forward, just, as it can in the most optimum way possible.
Yeah, thank you, Tom. That's sort of what I realized. To me, it almost seems like there's only perfection, and somehow that perfection keeps evolving to be just more perfect, even though it was already perfect. I don't know. It's just
Yeah,
very strange.
yeah. There's more perfection in the process than there is in the content.